Well, they finally released the character and weapon banner, so let's take a look at it, because it is looking good. So let's leave the best for last and let's look at the 4 stars first. Let's start off with Diona. Diona is an incredible healer with very good supporting capabilities. Her elemental skill, being a shield with pretty good uptime, already increases your survivability, which is pretty good, but to add onto that, it also increases your movement speed and decreases your stamina consumption. So this is genuinely a very good ability. Then moving on to her burst, which is her healing ability. You throw down your icy cocktail, generating a healing field that does cryo damage to opponents and heals your characters every few seconds. And for the cherry on top, enemies that are inside of her healing field will get their attack decreased. So her elemental skill buffing and her ult debuffing makes her a very good healer. Moving on to Sayu, we have another healer. It almost seems like there is someone on this banner that is always on the brink of death. Sayu's burst summons the Muji Daruma, which does anemo damage to nearby opponents and heals your characters. The incredible thing about this ability is that the AoE is very big. But moving on to her best ability, in my opinion, is going to be her elemental skill. This skill basically turns her into Sonic. You can even infuse her Wheel of Death with any element you want, and then you can just wreak havoc on Teyvat. Definitely one of my favorite abilities in this game. It's very fun. Then moving on to our favorite housewife, Thoma. Thoma is proficient at being a shielder and a sub DPS. His elemental skill summons a shield that can stack, so his survivability will be pretty good. But the spicy part is his ult. With his ult, you summon a blazing barrier that summons fiery collapses, dealing pyro damage on your active character. He is comparable with Beidou and Xingqiu in the way that he basically gives free elemental damage to your active character. And him being the first consistent pyro sub DPS is going to open a lot of doors, so he is definitely going to be an asset for every single account. And now moving on to the meat and potatoes of this banner, we have our favorite pyromaniac, Mrs. Hu Tao. As most people already know, Hu Tao is an incredible DPS and is called the one-man army of Genshin Impact. Her E ability infuses her auto attacks with pyro and drastically increases her attack, making her a very good DPS. But of course, this comes with a drawback. Every single time you use your E ability, 30% of your HP will be taken. So if you have 10,000 HP, 3,000 HP will be taken. Now you might think her losing HP makes her a bad character, but she actually has a passive which increases her damage when she's below 50% HP. So there is definitely some synergy right there, and actually also the reason why you want to have her on low HP all the time. But at some point you will need some healing, and actually she takes care of it herself. Her elemental burst is basically one big fiery spin where she yeets her ghostly friend and does a lot of pyro damage, but at the same time she also heals herself. So now I hope you understand why I called her a one-man army. I will definitely make some videos about her to show you guys how incredible she is, because she is definitely one of my favorite characters and actually my highest damage dealer, so look forward to it. With the character banner out of the way, let's move on to the weapon banner. So one thing you might notice is that we have some very good 4-star weapons, even 2 new 4-star weapons. So one thing you might notice is that the 4-star weapons are looking very good. We have some sacrificial weapons and we even have 2 new weapons. But in my opinion, you should never fall into the trap of summoning on the weapon banner for the 4 stars. Because think about it, 5 4-star weapons are on rate up, so that means if you want to go for a specific one, the chance of you actually getting them is gonna be pretty low. So I don't recommend the weapon banner if you're only looking for 4 stars. But let's move on to the 5 stars. So first off, we have the Elegy of the Wind, the weapon that made this banner very controversial, and a lot of people are asking if it actually is worth it. And in my opinion, this weapon is actually very underrated. It's actually an incredible bow for support users, because not only does it give energy recharge, but it also gives your entire party elemental mastery and it increases their attack. So for a support bow user, this weapon is going to be very good. So even if you get it, don't be sad, because you will definitely use it. But the weapon everyone wants is of course the Staff of Homa, known as one of the best weapons in the game and the signature weapon of Hu Tao. I use it myself and all I can say is, wow, this weapon is so good. Its passive increases your HP and then gives you attack scaling on HP. So that means you can put it on anyone, but of course it's gonna be incredible on Hu Tao specifically. But besides the passive being very good, my favorite part about this weapon is the incredible amount of crit damage. damage. It gives you a total of 66% crit damage, which just makes your life way easier, getting a nice crit ratio. So now that we've seen both banners, what is my opinion of the banners? I have to say, these are one of the best banners we've had in quite a long time. The character banner honestly is incredible. We have one of the best DPSs in the game, we have a new character, and we have two incredible healers. So yes, the character banner is definitely worth it. Now, the weapon banner is also very good, but as always, I don't advise people to summon on the weapon banner. If you are very unlucky, it can take you up to 30,000 primogems to get the weapon you want. So if you are a free-to-play, then I would say stay away from the weapon banner. But for the people that have the budget to go on the weapon banner, it's definitely worth it. We have a very good polearm, and we have a very good supporting bow. And besides that, the 4 stars being good as well is just, you know, the cherry on top. So now that you know my opinion, let me know in the comments what you think of the banners and tell me if you are going to summon on them. But until then, thank you so much for watching the video and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.